Hello guys, how's it going? What's up my friends? So yeah, I posted yesterday, which would have been the 10th or 11th. It was on a Tuesday. Today is Thursday. Right, I said in my caption on one of my posts on Instagram, shall I make a video on YouTube about my editing process? So yeah, I got a great response. I got a load of yes, I want that, I want to see that, I'll be glad to see that. So here we are today. I'm going to make my editing process. Start to finish, boom, right to the app. So yeah, I've got about 5 levels of editing I go through into Instagram. So obviously taking the picture first and then putting it on my laptop, and then first one is going into Lightroom. Edit in Lightroom, adjust the exposure, contrast, also use VSCOfilm as well, the toolkit. Go through all of that, and save the image, export the image, and then email it to myself or make a draft, and get it up on my phone, my iPhone 6. And then second is Snapseed. I go into there, again adjust the brightness, contrast, sharpness and stuff like that. And then I use a few other tweaks in that app. And then save that. And the third app is Faded, a really cool app. Their Instagram name is Made with Faded, I think, yeah. You get really nice tones on there, really nice filters. So go in there, put a filter on it, adjust a few little things in there, save it, and then bam, camera roll, it's saved. The fourth is VSCOcam. VSCOcam, VSCO, Visual Supply Co. Yes, that's the app. It's got a ton of names, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but I call it VSCO. Go into that app, there's my final editing besides Instagram. So I'll just do exposure control, sharpness, contrast, all of that. Choose a filter as well. Yeah, and then boom, save that. And then go to Instagram for my final editing, number 5, the Instagram editing tools, which are really good. It's probably the best update Instagram has had for a while, to include all of those editing tools. So yeah, that is my process. Let's get to it. Okay, let's start. So we're on my laptop right now. I'm recording on QuickTime Player, which actually has a screen recorder, which I didn't know. Yeah, so I could have done a lot more stuff but yeah, let's get started. So this is my laptop. You're probably thinking, oh my god, what a boring laptop. But the reason I don't have anything on this is because I put everything on my hard drive. This is what I've shot on my Canon 7D. I've got a lot of stuff on here. You might recognise some of this stuff if you are Instagram viewers. So yeah, I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom where I've got my new stuff, which is all the snow pictures I took over the past week. I'm trying to get something with a good amount of light in it and a good amount of colour, so you can actually see a difference in my editing. This was taken in my previous video, in my snow venture, so do check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Right, so I'm going to go with this image. So this image, 6165, I'm going to pull that down and go straight into Lightroom. Right, so Lightroom has opened, and there you can still see the logo. Come on, there it is. That one. So you're going to go over to the right hand side and click Import. That was my previous photo I was editing. Right, so it's going to chuck you into the library. Here we go. Right. So it's going to bring me a photo in the library. It's the latest version of Lightroom, 2015. I think it was about £109 for the year. Or you can pay a month. I chose to do it a year. And you do get the latest version of Photoshop, which is down here. Lightroom 5 and Photoshop. Yeah, so you're going to see this, and then I go into Develop. On the left-hand corner, you've got your Lightroom presets. I don't touch any of those. And then you go down, you have your VSCOfilm presets, which I bought. I only bought pack 01 and 02. I've been through these quite a lot. I mean, they don't really change the image that much, you know, and I do like to start from scratch and make my own and go through the picture editing bit by bit. But I do use the VSCOfilm toolkit. So you've got the toolkit, which is the basic one, and then you've got the toolkit color. It's going to drop down this menu. And so if you use VSCOcam, the app on the iPhone or Android, you'll be familiar with blacks, contrast, highlight save, shadows and stuff like that. So I have all there. So I'm going to go through these first on the left hand side, then I'm going to go over to the right hand side and edit these things here. So I'm going to start off with blacks. I'm going to put some blacks in there. I'm going to click some contrast. It'll go quite dark, but then I'm going to go to shadow save. Put 2 in there. You do want to go quite bold when you're editing, especially because it's on Instagram and it's a small screen, so you always want your pictures to be light. You want the people to see the colours, the saturation. Yeah, so the picture's got to be bright. That's how I edit anyway. If you're a black and white photographer, I mean, do put in a lot of blacks to show the blacks, and you know, make sure your picture is bright so it stands out. So yeah, just put 2 plus shadow save, plus fade. Only 1 plus fade I go for. Make sure grain none is clicked, or if you like grainy photos, you've got your grain here. Sharpen, I always go 2 plus, and then into the colour. Now if the sky is blue, I like to put +1, not too much, otherwise it gets a little bit grainy up there. Greens, if you've got greens, I do like to plus greens, so 1 for there. Orange skin fix, I don't really tend to use, doesn't really make a difference. Saturation, yes, +1, and then these I normally leave green shadows and stuff. I've only had Lightroom for a month, so this is what I've come to get comfortable with in my routine. So this is just what I go through. So that's finished on that side, and I'm going to hop over to this side. Adjust the temperature. So this is, you know, it depends on what your feed is really. If you've got a warm feed with a lot of oranges and yellows, you tend to, you know, edit it and give a lot of warmth in it. But my feed is quite cool at the moment, so I don't want to go too low, otherwise, you know, you get a blue image like that, which is horrible. But, you know, put it at, say, -4. Tint is the greens and the pinks, greens and pinks. I normally keep that in the middle. Don't want to go too garish with that. Exposure, light it up a tad. Contrast, yes, we want that to make the image pop. Highlights normally bring down, so you can get, you know, you can start to see the clouds coming out and more of the sun rays. Not too much though, otherwise it loses the contrast a bit. Whites, put that up because there is snow in the picture. Come to life a bit more. Blacks, put a tiny bit more blacks in. Clarity, which is basically, if you're familiar with Instagram editing tools, it's the LUX. It's similar to that. So there, you see the difference between those two. Do a +8. Vibrance, I normally take this down because I do like sort of desaturated and then high hues. So you get some colours desaturated and other colours saturated, which I quite like. Saturation, leave it there. Tone curve, I haven't really used this. Now this I do use. You've got your 3 tabs here. You've got hue, saturation and luminance. Keep it on SL, sorry. And go to hue. Adjust the reds. I mean, you won't see that much difference, but you see in the grass down the bottom there, it is changing a little bit. I want to keep that more red than orange. Orange, so you see this in the rays, the sun rays. See there, they're more red, and there they're more yellow. I don't want to keep it yellow. I want to keep it more to the red side. Yellows, this again will change the sun. I don't want to have it greeny, so keep it around there. Greens, boost them up a little bit. Let's get the green out of the grass. Aqua, this doesn't do that much. Blues. Now this will make the sky kind of turquoisey colour. I've seen this a lot on Instagram. People seem to do this, and that's how you know that an image has been edited on Lightroom. I don't want to make it too fake, so I want to bring that back a bit to around there. Purples, don't really do too much. You can see in the clouds where it's changing there. I don't want to have it there because that gives it a bit of grain. I'm going to keep it this side. Magentas, again, doesn't really do much in this image. I'll go over to saturation and just tweak these a little bit more. Bring up the reds a little bit. Again with the orange. Yellows, take that down a little bit. Greens up a tad. Blues up a little bit as well. And so yeah, finish with that. Split toning, I've tried this, so it doesn't really do anything. Details is sharpening, you can move this box around to a certain part of the image. I tend to just do a little bit on sharpening, that's about it, because you can later do that in other apps. Skip past this stuff, this is lens corrections, I don't use that. Effects, I haven't used this yet. And the last thing, just for final tweaks, is camera collaboration. This is where you can finally tweak your hues and saturation. So you can see a little change there. Looks nice towards the green end. Reds. So that makes quite a difference, that side. I want to keep it more to the middle. Again, some of you on Instagram might know I edit quite saturated and bold, but I tend to not make the image too fake. I don't like that, but I do want, you know, to enhance the colours and stuff, so you can really see the potential of the image. Green's not, so bring it down to yellow, don't really like that, so I'll keep that in the middle. Finally the blues, this will make your image very, very strange, but yeah, keep it in the middle. So that's the final image. Once I've been through there, I normally go back up just to check these again. Could add a little bit more exposure. A little bit more, yeah. These up here, this is your kind of like clone tool in Photoshop. And this is your straightening tool, brush clone tool, yeah. So you can select part of the image if you don't like and get rid of it. Actually, I might do this. I'm going to zoom into this flare here. See that flare? And all you do is go over to the right hand side, click this circle. Brush size is about right. You can change the size here. Might make it a little bit bigger. I can use this doing the keyboard near the enter key. So there you see that little image, you click. Then I'll bring up the second circle where you can move around. And you can put whatever is in this circle in the other circle. You see that? So I'm just going to choose part of the sky, which will go quite well, and then press done, and see that the flare's gone now. Zoom out, and it's much cleaner across that horizon. There we go, so that's the final edit in Lightroom. I'm going to right hand click and export, and this will save to my desktop. Get this menu, scroll down, make sure stuff is in JPEG. Image sizing, so I always want to put the resolution at 300. I don't know why. When I was studying photography at school, they told me to put it at 300, so it's at 300. So export that, and that will save my desktop. Just want to go into Lightroom and show you what the original image looked like. So here's all your history if you scroll down on the left hand side. So this is all we've done. Done quite a lot actually. So import, that's what the image looked like. And export. So there you go. Quite happy with that. So I'm going to email this to my phone, get off my phone, and then start editing on there. Yo guys, so back off the laptop. I've got my phone in my hand, iPhone 6. Right, so there's the image. I'm going to save it, and then that should go into my camera roll. So I'm going to get the photo up. So yeah, here's the photo. Press use. Down here, you're going to see all your things you can edit with. I'm going to go to Tune Image. And now to work this app, you scroll up and down. Brightness, first of all. I do like to brighten the image quite a lot. Ambience, boost that up a little bit. Contrast, do like to add contrast, not too much. +3 maybe. Saturation, again a little bit. Shadows, about 10. And then warmth, just -1. Click the tick, and that'll save that. And then details, this is sharpening and structure. I don't touch structure, I'll just go for sharpening. If it's taken on my Canon 7D, I only go up to about 10 or 12. If it's an iPhone image, I tend to go up to about 20, but that was when I was using my iPhone 5S. Now the 6 Plus, I reckon you don't need to go that high. But when I first started out, I used to go right up to, you know, kind of 70s and stuff like that. And I realised that was a bad idea because you can see a lot of the, I don't know, these lines appeared on the image, which wasn't that great when you post to Instagram. So I'm going to keep it at, say 12, press the tick. And now I use drama, which is actually very good when you've got a lot of clouds in your image. Water as well, it brings out. So it's kind of like the LUX thing on Instagram, which you get in the editing tools. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to put you up right up at 90% or plus 90. Saturation, I'm going to bring that to normal, so 0. And then the filter strength, I'm going to come right down, only so like you can get the clouds out of there like that. You can see around, say 14. Again, you don't want to go too high. Click the tick, and then that's it. I'm going to go up to the top, save to photo library. So that's saved. Now I'm going to go into faded. Really good at this, I do recommend it. Library, select the image, it's going to load, and then you're given this menu. This button here is the filters. So I only use clean or film. I did have to, these are free, the first 4. And you get, I think you get 8 on this one, but I did buy the ones down here. I think they're only 69p. So clean, basically what you can do, you can select a filter, and it's already put at about 80% the way down. Always, I put it to 100, always. Just because, you know, I like, you know, it's got to stand out, I like my pictures to stand out, but still maintaining a kind of a natural look. That one looks pretty good. Napper. Now in here, you do get exposure and stuff like that in this tab. It looks a lot like VSCO actually. I only do the temperature and the tint in this one. Just because, you know, it's not really worth doing all this and then going to VSCO and then doing it again. So I only adjust the temperature. So I'm going to make it, give a little warmth to it actually. Press the tick to save that what you've just done. To tint. Bring back a few of the pinks on 3. And then that's that. And then you go up here with the tick, and that'll be saved straight away into your library. Let's go into VSCO. That's me there. So I've imported that. And then down here, you get your editing tools in the middle. Right, so I spend a lot of time on this, time choosing a filter. I tend to go straight to the C's. The C's and E's are possibly my favourite. And editing in snow, I do like to use M5. Also, if it's fog, I do like to use M5 as well, but we're going to see what the C's and E's look like. Yeah, that's got a lot of green in. C5 is quite cool. I normally choose a favourite out of one pack. So I've decided C5 is my favourite, and then I'll go to the E's. E3 is normally, I use a lot. E2, you get a bit of the warmth back. E4 normally takes out the sky, which is not that great when you've got clouds. F2 is probably the most popular filter when VSCO started out. Just because it's, you know, it's faded and brings out a lot of the contrast as well. That was a very popular filter, but now people are moving on. This is M5. Looks quite nice. Brings out the blues. And this is P5. I'm not going to dare with P5. A lot of people use P5, but I'm not that kind of a P5 guy. So I'm going to go back. C5 is probably one of my favourites. I'm going to choose that. Always on 100%, by the way. 12, I mean, plus 12. I'm going to click that arrow down there, and then go to the brush, or whatever it is. First exposure, adjust exposure, make it a little bit brighter. Contrast, don't want to do that yet. Saturation, put that up a notch. Go to the temperature, adjust the temperature. So I'm going to keep that 0 actually. Tint. Not really anything happening with tint. Going to keep that at 0. And then the highlights. If you bring the highlights, this is a good trick. You know, I said when you're editing in Lightroom and stuff, bring the highlights up so you get more out of the clouds, but then do remember to also then go back into the exposure just to brighten it a bit more so you don't lose, so the image is not too flat. Shadows looking good, I think. Don't need any more there. Now the last, I do sharpening, +1. And then this is where the image changes. Contrast, only +1. And then it really pops. Press tick, tick again, and then that'll save in your library, in your VSCO library. Click the arrow there, save to camera. Right, so I've saved that image from VSCOcam. Now I'm going to go into Instagram. So it's my profile. Roll count is cool. Pink rumba, very good. This dude does a lot of London stuff. Cars, yes, I do like cars. Kit Kat, Snowy. Cool dude. Snow again. This guy's awesome. Yeah, a lot of snow on Instagram at the moment. So I'm going to press the camera button, go to camera roll, choose the image. This is the final edit. Cropping. That looks pretty good like that. Pretty cool. So next. And then, now this is the LUX I was talking about, but I tend to keep it around, say, 8 or 7 or 8. Click tick. Now these are the filters. They have got better. A lot of people have hate against these filters. I don't use them. I posted one recently just to see how it looked, but no, I don't really like them. I mean, no, I don't really use them. But I do use the editing tools. So again, you've got your brightness, contrast, warmth, saturation. This is such a good update from Instagram. So brightness, brighten it a tad, 14, 15. Warmth, tiny bit up, say 2. Saturation a little bit up, 1 or 2. Highlights you can bring down, so there you can see a lot of the sky coming through there. Down to about -50, -52. Shadows are okay. Sharpening, boost that up a little bit, 8. And then last, contrast about 2 or 3. So there we go. Now actually I might put up the brightness a little bit, 25, 26. Yeah. So there you go. So that is my final edit. And then I would go next, write some silly caption, add my location. I don't share it because that will share it in square format. I'd rather post on Tumblr and Twitter on full image. Yeah, so, and then I'll share. And that's it. So there you go, that's my final edit. Boom. Yo, so there you go guys, that's my full editing process, start to finish, from Lightroom, Snapseed, Faded, VSCO and Instagram. Yeah, so hope you like that. It's my first video kind of filming myself with the camera in front of me like this, so it's quite awkward holding the phone. I hope everything's in focus and everything looked okay. It wasn't really a kind of how-to edit, it was mainly just an insight to how I edit, what my routine is and how I post on Instagram. It's worked for me, I get a lot of feedback from you every day from the Instagram community, which is awesome by the way. You may have learned some tips from that. If you have, I'm glad. I'm very glad and happy you've learned something from it. If you've got any questions, just leave me a comment below and I'll answer them, I'll reply. If I missed anything out while I was flipping between apps and edits. Boom, that was my editing process. So that photo, I'll probably post today or tomorrow or whatever, when the time's right to post. And yeah, I shall be editing this video in a bit. So yeah, I hope you like my editing process. Instagram people, Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I'm going to be doing some reviews on the iPhone 6 soon as well. I haven't forgot about that. And I'll be editing a lot more drone stuff that I've got. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff coming up on this channel. So subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll see you in my next video.